Something to Offer, the show that goes to the heart of people living their dreams. And we'll meet them in just a moment. Hi, welcome to Something to Offer. Today, it's a little departure, not so much anymore because, you know, I love taking video on my phone when I'm traveling or if there's somebody can't really get into the studio. So I was in Chicago on Veterans Day, and my nephew-in-law works for Cantini Park in Chicago. It's really right outside of Chicago. It's part of the McCormick Foundation, and Robert McCormick was a World War I veteran, and then he became an alderman in Chicago and big philanthropist. So we went out there on Veterans Day. Now, I never really knew this, and maybe Yael will chime in after we watch this, but at 11:11 on November 11th, and 11:11 a.m., in the town of Cantini, France, is where World War I, the declaration of the ending of World War I happened. So I never knew this, so I had to call her because she always on her show, Manifest for TV, and you know, she helps me manifest my show by doing all the magic in the control room and blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, it's 11:11, and she'll share that significance. But anyway, so I took a very little bit of a clip of when all the people that were either related to people that had been in World War I, everybody, and we all, well, I didn't have a bell, and it just was in general, they rang the bell for peace to be throughout the world, you know, just in an effort to have peace, because that's the idea. So, and then the bagpipers played, and they were from, you know, the Chicago Fire Department. So we're going to see two little clips of that, and then we're going to move into another exciting, which I'll share when we get back, when I was in Michigan at a place where my sister volunteers, and we're going to show their volunteer efforts. Okay, here we go.
All of us here at Cantini Park and the Robert R. McCormick Foundation, join us in raising your voices and ringing your bells in celebration of the centennial of the armistice and hope for lasting peace.
So that was at 11:11. Everybody rang their bells for peace. It was happening all over the world, they said at that time. Yael, you can show the photo of Mr. McCormick from the website too. Well, whatever, not now, I guess. So we're back to me. Maybe you want to show that picture of Mr. McCormick, the founder of this Cantini Park and a great philanthropist in Chicago. It's at the Google page. There we go. There he is. And the park is a big, amazing park, and it's got a museum, and it's got a lot of war artifacts too, I have to say. You know, that's just how part of it is, because it's in honor of those who survived that. Now we have another clip, Yael, of the bagpipers. It's just a little bit more bagpiping, and then we'll be back. Okay, we're back. So I just thought it was so, I had to take a video because number one, I'd never been there, but to have myself be on 11/11 at 11/11 at the same time that the town in France, Cantigny, which this park is named after, which he was at, Mr. McCormick was there. He was a military at the time, so he was there when the war ended. So it means a lot to, you know, to remember that. And Yael, do you want to just pitch in what the significance of the number 11/11 is real quick from there? Can you say it over the microphone?
When it appears, it means that you are on your path, that you are doing the right thing, that your guide, people say angels, or your ancestor are talking to you and saying, take a moment right now to recognize that you are on your path, that you are doing the right thing.
So maybe at that moment, 11:11 a.m.,
It was the right
time for peace, the right time for peace. So that's great. So now I'm going to move on to, so that was in November. In December, I went to visit my family at Christmas time. I don't always get to go. And my sister does, and for a few years now has worked volunteering with this organization, and it's called the Catholic, the Catholic Community Response Team, but her community response team is out of a church called St. Michael's. And there's absolutely no overhead because this church lets them use like the basement, but there is no heat there, there's no bathroom, there's no anything. So when these people volunteer in the winter, they are freezing there. In the summer, they're boiling there. So they have to they work many long hours, a few days a week. What they do is they take in, you know, furniture, all these things, and people donate, and they then create a time for people to come and buy things if they want, or to be used toward creating homes for people. But what they're really doing is trying to raise money to create, get beds for people that are coming out of either, you know, kind of bad situations and they're being put in apartments or housing works or something like that. So this is all done by volunteers, mostly a lot of them are retired volunteers. We're going to meet the man who kind of runs this St. Michael's. My sister does a lot of work there too. They have 2 levels. The first level you go in, we'll see pictures of, it's, you know, furniture and things like that. And the lower levels like housewares and stuff. But the purpose is to raise money to have beds to give people so that when they get in the housing that they're given, they have nothing. So they'll have beds, and if they want to come and pick things out there, they can, and they set them up with, and we may see a video of that, kitchen in a box, so they give them a few things to make food and prepare, and then I think it's called not bathroom, but, you know, a can with, you know, things for cleaning, and a janitor and a pail or something like that. So we're first going to hear from Lew Elbert, who is the man who kind of runs it there. And he also used to be, yes? Oh, we have to do the offering first. Ooh, thank you. So when we get back from the offering, then we'll go right to Lew Elbert. Thank you, Yael. I was like so busy trying to tell him about this place. So we're going to the offering now? And so I keep looking between both cameras because I'm used to. So now we'll go to the clip of Lew Elbert, and then after it will come back, and then we'll meet another man from there too as well. Okay.
YouTube. Okay. I'm so happy I'm in Pontiac, Michigan, and I'm at home in Michigan, and I'm talking to Lew Elbert, who is part of a team of the CCRT, which is the Catholic Community Response Team out of St. Michael's. And my sister is very involved in this organization, and I'm just happy Lew spearheads a lot of it, maybe all of it. I'm not sure. We're going to find out today. Lew, can you tell us when the team started, the response team started, and a little bit about the mission of the organization?
we started probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. It all started because one day I was at our CCRT offices in downtown Pontiac, which they primarily do a lot of work for people who need help coming off the street with IDs, birth certificates, all sorts of things, how to be directed to the right agency for assistance, etc. And I was down there helping out, and one of the people working there says, we've got these people who need some mattresses, and I've got some people who want to donate some mattresses. Can you figure out a way that we can get them connected? I said, well, I met a guy who recently had a pickup. Let's see if we can't get that done for him. So we did, and then we did another one, and then another one, and pretty soon we were doing a lot of them, and pretty soon we were in homes where there were kids sleeping on floors, which just drives me nuts. And so we just started doing more, and then some more guys joined me, and now we kind of divvy up all the various tasks that we do, and we go through a lot of beds. And generally, we'd never get enough donated, so we go out and buy them, and we sell off the stuff that get donated to us that's extra, as you can see here in this room.
Right,
We sell off a lot of it. And,
span around for a minute while you're talking. There we go, yeah.
and so with the money that we generate from that, we have a great business model. There's no expenses. And so what we do is buy beds and sheets and frames and every once in a while a microwave, but basically the essentials of life. Now with all this furniture, we got so here's beds and couches and dining room tables and chairs and all sorts of bedroom
You
furniture.
have desk furniture, you have everything.
Our typical client is a young mother with a couple kids who's been pulled out of a fire or out of an abusive home and who's been placed by an agency into an apartment or something and then has absolutely nothing in it. And so we're going to go and bring her what she needs to set up a household, what I call the basics of living, to take care of her kids and put them in beds. So we do 2 or 3 or 4 of those a week. And pick up furniture. We pick up furniture in the mornings and deliver them in the afternoons. And now we're up to for our Christmas luncheon we had 45 people. So there'd be 45 people who, in one way or another, helped us all year. Usually there's at least 30 here every week, working on helping other people. Period.
And that's so important. And how does a volunteer, do they find out by word of mouth, or how do people get drawn to you? I know my sister, who volunteers a lot here now, she said she first came by as a customer, basically, like came and brought stuff or dropped stuff off and purchased things and then got involved. How do they usually find you, or you find the volunteers?
We have a lot of retirees, and so the retirees, a person who's just retiring said, well, what do you do? How do you keep busy? And most of them will say, I have a very enjoyable time giving back by working with these people. They call themselves the movers and shakers, which somebody gave us that name one time. We were moving furniture, and I said, you ought to call yourself the movers and shakers, and it just stuck. But so generally retirees hear about it that way. That's where most of a lot of the guys, their wives say, you got to get out of the house. Those guys are doing good things. You go work with them. Right,
that's great. And people can come in, once a week and purchase things?
Right. We open every Monday from 1 to 3, and that's plenty for everybody to get whatever they need. And meanwhile, as they're buying stuff, we are delivering stuff to our clients.
It's a constant cycle of movement. That's why you're the movers and shakers.
It's amazingly busy here every
and
Monday.
It's so wonderful. And it also, the people that you're helping that are going to homes, they can come here and select things too, right? I think Marilyn said that. Or do you just take everything to them? Or do you let them come in sometimes and have at it to get things for their house?
But usually we take them. We pick what, they say they need a couch and a bed and this and that. We're going to load it up and take it to them because they generally don't have a car.
Right.
The next level up would be people who have a car or have a means of transportation. They're going to come in on a Monday and pick out and hopefully give us some money, cents on the dollar. And then just all I do is go buy more mattresses with it.
Right, exactly. And you have I'll go down there and take some footage, but you have another whole level with like housewares and knickknacks and art things downstairs, right?
It's like a backyard rummage sale. But the key thing that's down there is all the linens, all the bed stuff, and then 2 more things that we take to many of our clients. One is called Kitchen in a Box. Okay. It is a box with all of the basics of the kitchen, and then also usually going with that is things like knives and forks and spoons and plates and cups and glasses. And then there's also janitor and a pail. And
Oh,
we've
nice. How cute.
We've had some churches donate a pail that has some basic cleaning supplies in it, and laundry supplies and things like that. And so they keep track of all those things while doing the other knickknacks and so on.
Right. What's so great is that you really take the burden of whatever the obstacle is that the person's been going through away when you can provide these things for them and help them ease their journey back into, a better state of life from whatever the circumstances were.
We'd like to think we upped it a notch or two anyway.
It's so great. Thank you so much, Lew. I really appreciate you taking time out during the Christmas holiday to talk to me. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really great. And so I think we'll take the other offering now, Yael, and then we'll meet LaDon Johnson, who works there as well, but he came there a whole different way. He was helped by the organization, and he decided to give back. So when we get back, we'll cut to that tape. We're back. So now we're going to meet LaDon Johnson. He works at the CCRT as well, and so does his brother, Daryl. So, but Daryl we won't see unless he's walking by. But LaDon will share his story right now.
Okay, we're starting now. This is LaDon Johnson, and he's also part of the CCRT team. And LaDon, can you tell us a little bit about, for my viewers, how this organization, what it means to you, how it came to you, and how you give back?
Well, the organization came to me exactly. I met them in 2005 or 6 when I was homeless. I was downtown going through the parking lot, and I seen some men moving food into a building that's located in the United Way building downtown Pontiac. That's like 2005, and I went over and talked to them. It was Jock and Lew and them retired executives. They was bringing food in, and I got some food from it. I met them guys, and I started going down, helping, passing out food, and been there ever since. Mm-hmm.
And so you got some support, and now you come to this at St. Michael's, and are you here like every day, or how is your volunteer?
Mainly we go out on Mondays, but any day that I'm called, they'll call and let me know what days they want to go out and pick up furniture, or someone, it's a family that's in desperate need right away. Opposed to them having to go somewhere and fill out paperwork, they get instant impact, because Lew and the guys, they'll go out that day and make sure there's no kids sleeping on floors right away.
That's why you're like a response team. You go right away.
Response team. We respond to people in crisis right away.
That's great. So what does it mean, like, how does it feel for you to, you kind of do the full circle thing? You were supported by the organization, and now you do. What's it like for you when you go in and see?
Giving back, it's very addictive. It becomes very addictive, like the guys, like Lew said. People in retirement, they have something to do. It keeps me busy, and it keeps me good, from what I went through, and I seen that the impact that it had on me, I know is the impact that I can have to give back to the community, which gave back to me.
That's so great. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything you'd want to share with people when they're going through tough times, how to keep moving forward? And stuff like that?
Never give up, and there's also resources out there. You have to find them, and they're like I say, they're out there, and you can find the resources. You just have to not give up and have faith in God. Okay,
great. Thank you, LaDon. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, great. And now, actually, we went downstairs, and then Lew said he and LaDon have had this great story to tell about helping some people out, and it kind of they're kind of miracle stories. So that's the next clip. They share a common story, and then one gets better than the other. So it's a really cool story.
The camera's rolling, and we're gonna so excited because Lew and LaDon have a special story to tell us that happened in Thanksgiving of 2018.
It was Thanksgiving Eve, and we came in here to help to meet a woman by the name, her actual name is Janetta, but she goes by Mother Love, and she has a group of women who try to help people when they hear of people in truly a great need, because she knows we'll always help. And so she calls me up on the day before Thanksgiving Eve, and she says, we've got a man downtown Pontiac. She had not met him yet, but he needs help. He needs to be able to sleep at night. He's got a full leg cast on and he can't lay in bed to sleep. So he's trying to sleep standing up.
Oh my goodness.
And I didn't know what that meant at all. As I tell you what, we've got an electric reclining chair, that one of those lift chairs. And I said, we'll get that to him tomorrow, which was Thanksgiving Eve. So LaDon and I and his brother take this chair to him in downtown Pontiac. She meets us there so she could meet him. Take it upstairs to his apartment to get him in it. Worked out perfect. Here, the way the man was sleeping was he had his walker and then a pillow on the walker, and he would lay there leaning on the walker with his head on the wall. And that's how he was sleeping until we were able to get him that chair. And so we drove away to go home about, 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving Eve afternoon, when we all agreed,
Yes.
This is a great Thanksgiving. This is what it's all about. We were able to help somebody who truly needed help. 2 hours later, LaDon calls me and says, that was nothing. I got you beat. Listen to this.
Me and my brother was up at Telegraph and ran into this gentleman. He had donated blood so he can have Thanksgiving dinner. And I just so happened to see him and talk to him. I took him to the dollar store, and he wanted to go in and get some meatballs for $1 and gravy. I just so happened to have some of the turkeys left that was from our turkey giveaway, and told him I have a turkey from the church, and this guy had donated blood, and he was going to walk in the cold. It was going to take him an hour and a half to get home.
All the way across Pontiac.
Oh,
All the way
my
across
goodness.
Pontiac. And I took him to my house. I went upstairs, got a turkey, and some of the other things that went along with it. He got a whole bag of food and everything that goes along. He was just ecstatic, and that was just a Thanksgiving I will never forget.
So
And then got him a ride home.
Got him a ride home.
And then a week later, we looked him up
He didn't have
from
any-
where he was because the shoes he had on
Had holes in it.
had holes in them, were just tennis shoes, and it was a little colder out there.
uh-huh.
So I had a donation from one of the people who says, a guy who said to me, here's $75, make it count. And so we used the $75 and added a little to it.
Got him
Bought
some nice
him
boots.
bought him some insulated waterproof boots and a $50 bill, and got it to him 2 days later,
Yes.
right after Thanksgiving, to get him into the next week.
Oh, it's wonderful.
That's a lot of great
So
stories.
he won Story of the Year for Thanksgiving.
I don't know. You both had pretty nice stories, like great gifts. You're all such gifts to humanity, and that's what we got to do. We got to keep giving back, right? And
Yes.
helping each other out. Thank you so much. Yay!
Thank you.
All right.
So those are the interviews. I don't know, Yael, if you wanted. They're so short. While I'm talking, I don't know if you can show that video behind of the janitor in the bathroom in the can or whatever, and the box in the kitchen. But I don't think there's
So
the
this
kitchen
is
box.
kitchen in a box, and this was donated by a high school in near Pontiac. Okay, great. Thank you.
And then they have the picture of, it's one of those orange tubs like from, I don't want to say Costco, what's the other one? Home Depot, and then they fill it with, there it is.
Does it have a zip tie on though?
No, it's just that once you pound them down, you got to have a screwdriver to prime
Yeah,
back
this
up.
is an example of janitor in a, well, maybe
Anyway, we just
pail.
call it janitor in the tub.
Janitor in a
In a
tub.
pail.
In a pail. Janitor in a pail. There's a bunch of them lined up here, ready for
3,
people.
6, 8. This is number
Yeah,
9. We got
okay.
and it started with 20.
Wow.
Was it 50? Oh,
So that's that. You know, the clock isn't really working in here, so I hope it's working for you in there, Yael, with the video. I don't know how much time I have left, but
3 minutes.
oh, 3 minutes. I don't know if I can read this story that fast, but I will try. This is an amazing book. It's called I Am Human. I just read this at a school the other day, and I fell in love with it. I was born a miracle, one of billions, but unique. I am human. I am always learning. I'm finding my way and choosing my path on this incredible journey. I have big dreams. I see possibilities. I don't know if I'm holding this up right, but I got to try to read it too. I have endless curiosities. I make discoveries. I have feelings of wonder. I am amazed by nature. I have a playful side. I find joy in friendships. I am human. Sorry, I'm not holding this really well. We didn't practice this. But being human means I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I can hurt others with my words, my actions, and even silence. I can be hurt too. I can be fearful of things I don't yet understand and timid to try something new. We've all been there. I have a heavy heart when I feel sadness. I am human. But then I remind myself, because I am human, I can make choices. I can move forward. A poor choice can become a better choice with thoughtfulness. A bad day can become a great day with kindness. I can act with compassion and lend a helping hand, which is what we just watched. I can treat others with equality and be fair. I can choose not to fight, but instead to listen and find common ground. I can say I'm sorry and ask for forgiveness. I am human, one of billions, but unique. I am not alone. I am connected to my friends, to my family, to the world. We are all humans together. I don't know if, come on. And I will keep trying to be the best version of me. I am full of hope. I am human. And this story, I mean, I could cry. This story just really speaks to me because sometimes we forget who we are. We get lost in everything we have to do. And that's why I'm so grateful I have this show, because I get to be with I Am Humans every time I sit down with the wonderful people and having people like Yael help me on the show. This book, I think, could be a great gift for anybody at any age. And, you know, we're always a work in progress, and we're part of a unique group of humanity. Thank you. See you next week.